What's up, guys, and welcome to my review for Fly Me to the Moon. This is the new romantic comedy drama which stars Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson. Channing Tatum works for NASA during the Apollo 11 moon landing mission, and Scarlett Johansson is hired to be the head of the marketing to sell the moon landing to the public. This movie, I just saw the trailer for pretty recently, and when I did, I said, okay, that looks interesting. This is a film about Apollo 11. And look, this is a film where the story basically goes to the point where the government comes in, played by Woody Harrelson, and says, you need to film a fake version of this. And regardless what happens, if we fail or succeed, you need to live stream this to the public. We don't care if you put it on TV. That's a great idea, but we need you to fake it. That's basically the story of the movie. I thought that was really interesting. Like, okay, you're telling people that this is based off a true story, maybe loosely based, but it's based off a true story. This film is saying to the audience, look, a fake version of the moon landing does exist. Now, I don't know if that was such a good idea because there's people out there that don't believe that it happened. And if they see this movie, they could be like, wow. I mean, I'm sure that the end of this movie was kind of fudged and the fake version is what we got. This is a thing that's been on people's minds for a long time, and it's very controversial. But that's not what this movie's trying to accomplish. The movie's trying to accomplish a relationship between Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson. And guess what? That's the biggest thing in this movie that did not work for me. I don't buy these two romantically. I think they have great chemistry, but I just didn't believe them as a couple or people that were romantically interested into each other. That's a similar problem that I had with the movie that came out in the beginning of the summer, The Fall Guy. I think Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt had great chemistry, but I didn't believe them that they were romantically interested in each other. Guess what? After seeing this movie, I believe them a lot more than I believe these two. Their chemistry is great, but I didn't buy them for 1 second that they were interested in each other. And I also think the movie's too long. It's a little over 2 hours. It could have been a little under 2 hours. And I think if they cut out a lot of that stuff where they're trying to push the romance, I think that the movie could have been a lot stronger. And also the comedy, some of the comedy didn't work for this movie. I didn't know if it wanted to be a comedy. I didn't know if it wanted to be a drama. I didn't know if it wanted to be a romance. And honestly, I don't think the film does either. I think that there's a lot of tones in this movie, but it never really knows what it wants to be. But it is entertaining. I mean, it does feel a little too long, but when they're doing the stuff with the moon landing, that's the most entertaining stuff in this film. So I think if this went more into like a drama and it was just about, look, there was this fake thing that they had to do and there was the real one as well. What did they have to do to get there? Scarlett Johansson's character coming in, her backstory. Even Channing Tatum's backstory. I think if this movie played more as a drama, it would have been a lot better. But it didn't. The moon landing stuff was great. Comedy wasn't great for me. The romance wasn't great for me. But the moon landing stuff I was really interested in. And if you think that the cat from A Quiet Place 1 was annoying, day 1 was annoying and unnecessary, guess what? There's a cat in this film. There's a thing that happens with the cat at the end of the film that I'm thinking, okay, that's the only reason this cat was in this movie. You set up the cat to do this one thing. And it was just like, that was pretty stupid. Didn't really care for the cat. And the movie takes place, look, Apollo 11, 1969. Something weird that popped into my head. That's the same year that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny takes place. You want to know why I know that? Because they have the Moon Day in that film, but also John Williams' soundtrack, John Williams' score. If you're interested in that kind of thing, the final track, or one of the final tracks on that CD, on that soundtrack, is New York, 1969, which leads into the credits of the film. So I just thought that was an interesting little fact to pop into this. But look, I liked this movie. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. I think the story was really strong. I just think maybe to get more butts in the seats, they threw romance in there, they threw some more humor in there, and some of that stuff just did not work for me. But when they're dealing with the Apollo 11 stuff, Ray Romano is in this. He's working for NASA as well. He's great. I really enjoyed the NASA stuff in this movie. So that's where I'm at with Fly Me to the Moon. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I do recommend you see it. Certainly a good movie, and I did like it better than The Fall Guy if we're comparing it to The Fall Guy. Look, I did say I like the relationship better between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, but I think this film is a better movie overall. That film, you can watch my review. It's up on the channel now, but that's my thoughts, and that's where we're at with Fly Me to the Moon, guys. Comment down below. Do you plan on seeing this movie? Are you interested? What'd you think about it if you did see it? Leave that down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of exciting reviews coming in the future. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Oscar-winning animated movie, The Boy and the Heron. I'm very excited to finally see that and talk about that. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at Ranking72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Fly Me to the Moon. And until next time, over and out.